Happy.
Woo!
I know. Super excited. Bad news, girl news. We're just two girls. So we were planning on reacting to military content. We want to know, like we said at the end of the last episode, who your favorite military content creator was. But we're at the end of the day, we're two girls that just kind of press record, and we couldn't quite figure out how to overlay the military content while we were live or while we were recording. We could only figure out how to do it afterwards. So we're gonna do some research this next week to see if we can figure it out. So
We'll get it,
today,
though. We'll get
yeah,
it.
yeah, we'll get it. But at the end of the day, we're just two girls press and record. So we're gonna hold off on that one for maybe another episode. You guys sent in a bunch. Thank you. We checked them all out. And then good suggestions, by the way. And then also, yeah, so that'll just be for a different date.
Speaking of content creators, did
Mhm.
you hear about what the Army did with Dwayne Johnson?
Yes, yes, we
Yeah.
gave him like millions of dollars to post. What? How many? Do you remember? Do you know how many posts he was supposed to do?
I don't know. I don't know the exact number of posts. I know that it was quite a few millions of dollars, and then what? It just fell through.
Yeah, I don't know like all the details, but I think like let's say he was supposed to post like three or sorry
Yeah.
5. I think he only posted like 2 or 3 or something. And
Yeah. I think the most interesting thing to me about that whole situation is Dwayne Johnson's a huge name, like, right? Like, he's a household name. If you bring him up, like, everyone's gonna know who Dwayne Johnson or The Rock is.
oh,
But how what is the point of paying that amount of money to someone who's never been in the military?
I mean, I feel like they were probably hitting it from, like, a numbers perspective, which is,
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
classic business stuff, but did you, are you tracking, like, what happened afterwards? Like, all, like, the kind of different content creators, like, making videos saying, like, "Why doesn't the military, like, promote, like, the people that are already doing it?" And not saying, like, give them $10,000,000,
Yeah.
but just,
Yeah.
like, to smartly, like, reallocate stuff. Or
Mhm.
do you remember, like, when that was happening?
Yeah, they had actually talked about it and, funny enough, so the Air Force, like, they came out with that idea, and I was asked to be a part of the team. It's still in the works of being, like, an Air Force ambassador and that kind of thing. Definitely interesting. I know our buddy Johnny Vargas, he is a part of
Yeah.
the Army team that they have going on. I'm pretty sure
Oh.
mandatory fun day is also a part of that.
I'd be surprised if he wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, officially, like, the details, but, I mean, anybody can, like, look at him and
Mhm.
be like, this is a good character, like, this is
Yeah.
a good, like, platform, um, to be on." And he also went, I think, enlisted to officer too,
Yeah.
so which are my favorite type of officers. The
Mustangs.
Mustangs are my favorite. The Mustangs, I had a colonel, she was a 4N, so she was an
Mm.
us, and then, she went and she became a nurse, so she commissioned. Best leader I've ever had, hands down. Um, I don't know if I was her favorite troop at all times, but, she knew that she was definitely loved, and I appreciated her a lot.
Yeah.
Um
I had 2. I had my old, program director that we had, she was a prior 4N and then went through NECP, so she Nurse Enlisted Commissioning Program, she became a nurse that way, and then I had another one, he was a prior 4N as well, and he had gotten picked up through IPAP, so he became a PA.
Nice.
But, like,
But what
they just get it.
they
Yeah.
do, and I was told something, I don't know if this is true or not, this might have just been I was getting taught by this captain in a course, and, she was saying that when she went to officer school, I don't know if this is true, this could have just been, like, maybe, like, making the story a little bit better for, students or
Mhm.
and then whatnot, but she was like, "Yeah, like, in officer school, they were taught, like" we were taught because she was enlisted to officer,
Yeah.
that if you're an officer, that paperwork is, like, the end of your career, right?
Oh.
But so, like, if you get, like, any paperwork because they have to promote and they have to be able to promote, and if you can't,
Yeah.
I think past, like, major or something like that, you'll get, like, asked to leave.
Oh.
Um
I think it's the same thing with, like, the higher tenure.
Yeah, yeah. So, like,
Yeah.
anything like higher tenure, but she was saying that, like, if paperwork can be put off on an enlisted versus, like, an officer, like, enlisted are known for, like, getting paperwork, which, like, We kinda are, 'cause you even said, like, if
A
you're not
little
a
bit.
sergeant or, like,
Yeah,
or whatever, you don't have
I
a
was just about to say, like, both of us know that, like, paperwork is not the end of your career,
yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. For us, we definitely know it's not. I don't know if she was just kidding or if she was just saying something
Mhm.
because it was, like, 8 o'clock in the morning and we needed to, like, get energized for
Yeah.
class or whatever, but I was like, "Dang, that's crazy.
I had
That's
asked,
insane."
our little baby lieutenants, I love them all so much.
The butter
They're
bars?
yes, they're just trying to figure it out. So, different types, right? Like, you have your ROTC, you have your
Mhm.
West Point, you have your academy, like, you have all of
Ooh.
those, and you can
Ooh.
so tell the difference between
Yes!
officers. But one of my favorite officers of all time, she was a PA. She is now in, what is it, USIS? Yeah, she got picked up for USIS, so now she's like towards the end of becoming a doctor.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
but she went ROTC and went about it that way. And I remember asking her, I was like, when you did like officer like OTS, like officer training school, like did they make your beds? And she was like, no, they just came in like once a week to like tidy up. And I was like, are you serious?
Oh, yeah, they
Like,
don't
I
know what a
don't,
hospital corner is.
yeah, I don't know if
They
she was
don't
ever joking or not, but like,
No! No, no, I had an officer, she was oh my god, she was such a badass. If she's watching this, you know who sorry I was so weird. I got better when I got out. But she was in the, she's I think she's in the academy, so she did,
yeah.
like, the 4 years or whatever,
Mhm.
and she's married to a fighter pilot.
Mhm.
You go. And she, most, like, beautiful couple too. Like,
Yeah.
it was oh my god, they were, like, the most beautiful couple, but she was, like, a freaking badass, and I loved her, and there was such a personality difference between, like, her and, like, calling out, like, what is like, she'd be like, "This is stupid, why are we doing it this way?" And
Mhm.
then she really looked out for, like, the younger enlisted too,
Yeah.
versus someone that was just got their degree, went to
Yeah.
officer school, and then now has, like, a job. There's a huge difference. I feel like
There
they're a little bit
is.
more feisty.
A
What
little
would you
bit, a little bit. Your West Point grads and like your academy grads, they're very proper,
smart? Yeah, they're
very proper, very
mhm.
eloquent.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you can definitely tell
Yes.
the difference. Definitely there.
What was the, sorry to backtrack. You said,
You're
like,
good.
the ambassador program.
Yeah.
I think I might have been out. Is that, like, a new thing? Like, what is that? Like, the Air Force
Yeah,
ambassador
it's definitely
program?
like a new initiative that they're starting. So the AATC commander, General Robinson, he essentially realized like how much power there is in social media, because the way that actually all of this got brought up was that the Marines had the best recruitment numbers, like of getting people to join the military. And everybody's like, oh, like the Marines, like how did they do that? Like,
Yeah,
because it's a small branch, like there's not a whole lot of them out there, but they started utilizing social media. They started utilizing social media, so then
really?
everyone kind of like caught on. And like, don't get me wrong, like recruiters definitely use social media before, but not to the extent of like really targeting like the Gen Z community, right? Because that's
No.
who it is. And they had done a sorry, my nose is watering. There we go. They had like pulled some numbers, and like right now, like the Air Force has the lowest recruitment numbers that like they have like ever had, because Gen Z just they kept saying it, and I kept like kind of being like, because I was like one of the only Gen Z people there. They were like, Gen Z just doesn't want to join the military. And I was like, well, I'm Gen Z and I joined the military, but really like catering into like that Gen Z like niche of like
Hmm.
recruitment and like that kind of thing. Um,
What would you say? Cause like, I'm millennial, right? You're
yeah,
Gen Z. Like, I definitely see a difference when something's, like, made for your
yeah.
age demographic versus,
Mhm,
like, when someone's using their own age demographic, like a
mhm.
millennial or older, right? I can definitely see a difference in content, but, like, what would you say, like, looks different? Because I'm sure people would actually, like to know, like, if any, like, recruiters watching or whatever, like, from your perspective, what makes it different? Where are they dropping the ball versus, like, a millennial making, like, millennial content or just
Yeah,
general content? Is it millennial feels more advertising, less authentic, less crazy? Like, what would you say?
I don't don't necessarily know. So, like, obviously, like, when we talk about, like, joining the military and stuff, like, millennials, like, it's a different war, right? It was the war in Afghanistan. Like, that was the war.
Yep.
It was the war, like, when I joined the military, that ended back in 2021, and now it's a different kind of time frame. And I think that, and I don't say this in like a bad way, but I think that kids are getting a lot smarter,
With
so
social with, like,
people
social media and stuff?
with like social media and like politics and like understanding
Yeah.
the military, and like
Yeah.
I think there's like a lot there. I think that there's got to be like incentive for people to join the military. Like it's a transaction, really. Like, what am I going to get out of the military if I join? Right? When I
Mhm.
joined, I was 17. I was like,
You were a rare breed. That's a
yeah,
very rare thing, like, there's not a big group of people that know at 17 that they
yeah,
wanna go in.
yeah,
I feel like it might be more college isn't really working out, or this debt is really crazy.
yeah,
Maybe that recruiter guy that, like, walks around and hands out
yeah.
pamphlets, maybe I'll go talk to him.
I mean, I joined with 0 debt,
Yeah.
and my dad really was the one to push me to, like, join, and he basically, he told me, he was like, "Listen, like, you can go to the community college, you can keep working full time, you can stay at
Mhm.
home, but you're gonna pay rent, or you
Yeah.
can join the military." And I was like, "You know
Was
what?
your dad prior service?
No, no."
Oh.
Yeah, I'm the first person in my military, in my family, but both my grandfathers served. One served in Vietnam, the other one was in the Korean War, but, they both had died by the time that I joined, so it was
Right.
very kind of random that I joined, just because, like, I don't come from, like, a military family, like, by any means, but
But
I
your
think that
dad's dad was in.
my dad's dad, yeah, and then my
Okay.
biological mother's dad was also in,
Okay.
but
Okay.
yeah, Army and Air Force, but I guess it was the Army Air Corps at that point when he was
Yeah,
in.
the Army Air Corps.
Yeah, yeah, but, um, yeah, definitely social media has such huge reach to, like, what we're able to do. And, like, I think, like, a big thing about, like, me and then, like, my content, and, like, my content has kinda, like, shifted and, like, changed a little bit. It's
Evolved
evolved.
with you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's totally normal.
yeah, and, like, when I first started and I started getting a following, and I was like, "Oh, like, let me start making videos about, like, domestic violence awareness and suicide awareness," and, like, I still do that, and, like, that was, like, a
Mhm,
huge point in my career when I
mhm.
did that. But it's definitely shifted, and that's not to say that, like, I don't, like, still care about that as a huge, like, concern of mine, and, like, something that I definitely still, like, bring awareness to. But, like,
Mhm.
now it's more so, like, on, like, me being able to, like, do my hair and, like, remain feminine in uniform, and, like,
Yeah,
just different kinds of things.
and, like, those topics too, it's not that they're not important, but it's
Yeah.
also, like, it's it's emotionally taxing, right? Especially
Yeah,
if it's
for
something you're
sure.
invested in. Like, there was a program I wanted to make right before I got out, but I
Mhm.
wasn't able to polish it off with paperwork. But it was a thing. So do you know, I don't know if this is for every Navy base, but I found this out. Do you know that, like, if you go on a Navy base and you hand your cat card upside down, that they will pull you over because it's like a sign of, like, distress, or, like, it's a sign, like, you need help without saying that?
Huh, no, what if it was just, like, accidental? Like, you just
So
accidentally handed it?
So funny enough, we
Yeah.
found this out at my unit because, my senior NCO was,
Mhm.
like, with his family and whatever, and they were going on to, like, a Navy base for something, and he's like, I didn't think anything of it, I was just going through the gate, he hands him his cat card, and he's like, "Alright, sir, I need you to pull over," and he's like, "Is everything okay? Like, is everyone in the car safe? Like, what's going on?" He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Am I
Hmm,
getting searched?" And he's like they're like, "No, but you handed us your cat card upside down," and
hmm.
he's like, "I don't understand." And they're like, in the Navy, that's like a thing you can do when you're going through the gate. So
Huh.
after I heard that story, I was like, that's really kind of smart. But I was like, if
My
we were
question
to
though my question to that though, like, let's say it's some type of abusive relationship, right?
Mhm.
Abuser's in the car,
Yep.
person being abused hands the cat upside down,
Mhm.
and they pull them over and they're like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, you pointed out to us that, like, you're in distress, like,
Mhm.
do you see the issue there?"
I do, but I think
Yeah,
that's the only place where you could actually, like, intervene though, right? Like, you would
yeah,
have an armed like, you have an armed guard
yeah,
that is, like, seeing about, like, this situation, right? They're
mhm,
like, "Okay, this person needs help. What do I do?"
yeah,
So, um I think we should definitely have something like that, and
yeah,
so what I wanted to do was, do you know what this is? Like, where you,
yeah,
like
it's like
yeah.
it's the universal sign of distress if you guys, like, didn't know that.
Right. So, like, if I'm FaceTiming Riley and I need
Mhm,
help, but I can't say it because there's something going on around me, I can say,
mhm.
like, "Oh, hey, Riley, like, hey, how's it going?" Right? Like, it looks like a
I'm
wave,
running, I'm coming.
right?
Don't worry, I'm there, girl.
Right. So I was like, well, what if we had something like that for the Air Force, for the base? So that's
Yeah,
actually what I started to work on. I was like, because you can hang your hand. Because my issue was, what if the other person knows that if you turn your CAC upside down, right? And if you're in a
yeah,
domestically violent situation, that would not be good. But I
mhm,
was like, well, if you hang your hand out the window and they can't see it in the mirror of the car and you go like, you go like this,
yeah,
right? Then they can like pull you over. And if you need to escape whoever's in your car, you could.
yeah,
So I actually started to like make that a thing. I started writing up stuff for it, but I got out by the time I could finish it, but it was going to be like a brief with security forces and like a brief with
yeah,
the base because
that's
you have to
huge.
teach people. But I think we should do something like that. By the way, Air Force, Army, everybody else. The Navy's kind of smart because they have ships, right? So
Yeah.
like if you're going onto a ship, if you flip it upside down, like they would know.
And it's like a sign for like anything, right? Like it could be like maybe like an abusive situation, maybe like someone's like suicidal, like literally
There's someone in
anything.
my trunk that they have a gun to my head, and they said if I don't bring this person onto base through my trunk of the car, like, it could
Yeah.
be anything from national security or base security to personal security,
It
and
could just be
everybody.
anything like help.
Yeah, yeah, help, but I can't say it. I think that would be
Mm,
something really good, really, really good to look into. I don't know, but yeah, so just, like, going back to, like, what you're saying, like, those are very passionate things, those are definitely things,
yeah.
but when it comes to, like, social media, there's only so like, I don't know about you, but my feed is, like, a lot of military and then, like, cute cats and, like, cute dogs or,
I have
like yeah,
babies
cat
all the time.
yeah, like, cute little things, and so, like, if you were to only make content like that, it'd be kind of like you'd have to end up on, like, kind of a more sadder algorithm. Serious,
Yeah.
but, like, more sadder, so, like, it makes
Yeah.
sense, like, kind of wanting to do those other things.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely. But social media, there's just so much reach and there's so much power with social media and just the way that
yeah,
social media really is the future. We're raising iPad kids. Like iPad kids are the next generation. So,
they're in basic. In Air Force Basic, they have iPads
girl,
now.
what 2000 2007?
Oh my god. Wait, if you're born in 2007?
Wait, girl math.
Hold on. It's 2025.
Yeah, that's a 17-year-old, right?
I can't math right now. It's early. It's 1 AM.
Yeah, it's early. Right? Hold
Uh,
on. This
it's
is
w
so embarrassing. I'm so bad at math. Math is like my thing that like literally can't. 2025 minus 2007. 2008.
2008?
2008 is a 17-year-old.
Ah, my god.
And I'm born in 2000. And like,
Ah.
uh,
Ugh.
yeah,
Ugh.
no, I'm born in 2000 and like I'll have people come in and I'm like, "Oh, like date of birth, like whatever." And they're like, "2005?" And I'm like, that even seems like
It's
I can't wait
weird.
till we hit 2010. My favorite thing to do because like, you know, you work with people of like any age. I'll ask someone like, "Hey, like what year did you join the military?" And they'll be like, "Oh, 2008." And I'll be like, "I was 9." And they're like, "Oh, like
Right?
whatever."
And now it's like on the flip side, and it's like, oh, you were born people were still having babies after 2000? Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's weird. It's definitely blah, 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 blah,
All the
blah.
COVID babies.
Yeah.
All the COVID babies.
But I'm curious, the ambassador thing, is that for
Mhm.
active duty? Like, is that just a group of
Active Guard and
people,
Reserve.
active
Yeah.
guard and reserve, and they're
Yeah.
trying to just have a group of people, like, make content under the thing of the Air Force. Did they say anything about payment? Or is it
No, so you can't
no,
you can't monetize.
you can't?
Like, you can't, off of social media.
I think that's so backwards because the Air Force pays, because my family's into motocross, so I've been in
Mhm.
a motocross, for, like, as long as I can remember, and, they Air Force having big banners on
Yeah,
motocross
like
is
NASCAR. Ooh,
NASCAR, we have a freaking car! Don't we have a car?
yeah. I know that, like, because I've gone down to, so the headquarters of recruiting is down at Randolph, and when, oh, let me adjust here for a second before I fall asleep under a bow. Um,
Uh,
they sent me down there when I, started having these like talks about like the social media and like the Air Force ambassador stuff. And like
mhm.
going down there was like super cool because they had like the side of like the NASCAR, like one of the NASCARs like in the office and stuff, and just like seeing
Yeah,
like the different stuff, and like the special warfare recruiting like headquarters office is down there, and like there's just a
right.
lot. There's a lot of stuff. Got some really nice shirts. Under
Yeah.
Armour shirts, like Nike.
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, Under Armour's pricey.
Yeah.
Under Armour is pricey, but we also have things like we have weightlifting teams, we have
Oh, yeah.
professional shooters, like, we have shooting teams, right? Like,
Yeah.
things that compete, so I feel like I understand as, like, a military branch,
Mhm.
you don't wanna necessarily pay your people to do things that they weren't, like, assigned tasks to do, right? Like,
Yeah.
I get that. However, if it comes to, like, recruiting, the best people to have, like, instead of, like, and don't get me a fan, I'm a fan of Dwayne The Rock Johnson from a complete business standpoint and from
Yeah.
being military, like, it makes more sense to have somebody who knows, who's passionate, who wants to do it, and who does it well. Who
And
does
someone who's in it.
Yeah, someone that's in it,
Yeah.
and that just makes sense, like, right? Like, instead of and I feel like that's kind of a generational thing
Yeah.
because our older generation, they had infomercials at, like that started at, like, 10 o'clock where it was commercial after commercial.
Yeah.
"Call in and you can buy this thing that winds up a hose, and you'll never have your hose kink for your yard
Dude,
again."
oh my gosh, one of my favorite commercials of all time. It was the cake, but the cake, it was like a dome, but there was like another dome inside the cake, and then you would fill the inside of the dome with ice cream. It was like, "Make your own ice cream cake at home." You know what I'm
Oh,
talking
yeah!
about?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I love those infomercials. Call now and get 2 for free.
Exactly, and that's, like, another thing too is it's just, like, we've changed so much now it's coming, like, now and I've kind of noticed this within the past couple years,
Mhm.
but people don't want an influencer to, like, sell something directly, like, "This is my hair curler. This is the one I use."
Yeah,
Like, this is a
TikTok
paid
Shop,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
way that TikTok Shop has, like, worked for people is insane. Like,
really?
the amount of money that people are making off of TikTok Shop, I know you don't do it, I don't do it as well, but, like, I
Mm-mm.
know people who, like, who who do it, and, like, just because they make a percentage off of every item that is sold.
Right.
So, like, if they have a video that goes viral and, like, 100 people, like, do it, like, they're making, like, money, but, like, they're literally just showing, like, their experience. Like, there's so many platforms out
Mhm.
there where it's like a person and they're like, "Here's what I bought off of TikTok Shop this week. Like, here's what to buy, here's not what to buy. Here's, like, a no bullshit review of, like,
Yeah,
whatever. Here's
yeah.
my no bullshit review about the Air Force." And, like, that's the other thing is that, like, people used to put so much money into commercials, but, like,
We still
someone
do. We
yeah,
still like, we
but,
still we
like,
paid Army paid Dwayne freaking all that. That's how important advertising and commercials is.
I just think that millions of dollars for someone who's not in it is wild.
It's just that backwards way of thinking, like, if like, it's really cool if Morgan Freeman did, like, a commercial for, like, I don't know, a car insurance thing, like, right? It's like, "Ooh,
Yeah,
I get to hear his voice, yay!"
yeah.
Like, right? Like, "Ooh." I think Kevin Hart even does stuff like, he does, like, commercials and things like that, but that's, like
I was watching TV yesterday, and it was a commercial of Paris Hilton talking
that's
about,
cool.
uh
Base Paris.
I think it was like a casino app or something, and we've talked about it, like, Kylie Jenner, like, she's literally,
Yeah!
like, with, like, the there's this game that I love. It's called Township, and it's a farm, and it's my farm, and I love it. I love it so much. But she was promoting it, and she was like, "Look at my farm, guys." So like, I know, Kylie girl, I know you made millions from that 15-second clip. She wasn't wearing makeup. You can literally tell that she recorded the video herself, and she
I like
literally was
that.
just same. But she was literally just like, "Look at this game of my farm." But like seeing Kylie Jenner, what's her name? Bethany Frankel. Do you know
Who?
Bethany Frankel? Bethany
I don't
Frankel.
know a Bethany Frankel. No.
I don't even know what she does, but she's another like celebrity. She does it just like a whole bunch of like really big celebrities just like promoting the shit. But I'll tell you, Paris looked good, girl.
Paris looks so good. I Googled it. Let me
She's like 40.
re-Google it
She's
again.
gotta be 40 something.
What's your guess? If you had to guess how old
Her
Paris
age?
Hilton is. Yeah, guess.
Mm, I'm gonna say 43.
44.
Ah, I was
She
so close.
looks so freaking good. I don't even
Well,
know. Like
girl,
she
that's
just
also
looks
because she's got the money.
yeah, she has the money. She can do like the anti-aging stuff, whatever. But like still,
Thousand.
that's so great to see. That's so great to see. Like, oh my God, she looks so good. I don't know why, but I'm just like, I want to age as best as possible, which is why I've kept my face out of the sun my whole
Yeah,
life. Cause
I have not.
girl,
That's what I have.
sunscreen, literally I put it on every single morning. If I was driving to work, it's on before I get in the car. It's on the back of my hands, my face, and my neck, because those are the first places
Do you know the
that
first place actually to age?
it's gotta be the back of the hands.
Your décolleté and your neck.
Yes, décolleté, yes. Girl,
Yeah.
that's I'm outside, I'm wearing hoodies in the summer. The sun, like, the whole, like, Korean skincare,
Yeah.
anti-sun, big hat, I am all that is, like, my thing.
The first time that you told me that you were a millennial, I was shook. I did not believe you.
Oh my god, stop
I did
it!
not believe
Stop
you.
it!
It's still up in the air.
Oh my god, thank
If you
you.
guys didn't know, Himmy's actually 43. So
Stop! But yeah, I can't see it. I think I look my age because I see, like, differences and stuff. But for sure, like, staying
yeah.
out of the sun has helped me, and it was reconfirmed because, like, when I was in college, um, rest in peace, my college education that I never got. Rest in peace, my degree that I never finished. There
Girl,
was this
did you ever finish your CCIF?
no. One of the first videos I ever made on content, like, if you go to my TikTok and you scroll, like, the very beginning,
Yeah.
it was me saying, like, uh, not starting your degree until, like, 1 year out, and I would go to a class, and I just wouldn't finish it. I just couldn't handle life. I couldn't
Yeah.
handle
I get
this,
that.
and now I've completely coped myself into thinking college is a scam and that you don't
Mhm.
need to go to college.
Yeah.
Sorry, all officers. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. I think it's I don't know. I don't know. I think if I could go back and never go to college and just focus on being a girl, that's just what I would do. That's literally what I would do. But
Would you join the military if you went back?
yeah, yeah.
Me
I
too.
tried to join at your age, or
Yeah.
I think younger than you. I tried to join at 22, but I
Yeah.
couldn't. It took
Yeah.
me 2 years. So I was like, "Grr,
Those
I can't."
waivers.
Got that whole mess taken care of.
Pull up your mug. Show them your mug.
DD214, you wish you could have one. Guess what's in it? Coffee. Guess what I
Crying
did
in
this
active
morning?
duty.
I slept in.
I'm crying in active duty right now.
Don't worry. I was where you were. Tastes like freedom. Yes, it does. Ah,
The
so
day will come. The day will come. So, talking
I
about
know.
being, just being a girl, something else that has come up a lot. There's a lot of female rangers. A lot of female rangers graduating now
Rangers in RASP or in Ranger school?
in ranger school.
Okay, 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 that makes sense. Yeah, we've had quite a bit, um, and for those of you that aren't tracking, you can go to Ranger School. I don't know if they accept every single branch, but it's Ranger School is a leadership school. right? It's a leadership school. It's not RASP, so it's not the Ranger Assessment Selection. I don't know what it's called, but I'm assuming it's Ranger Assessment Selection Program. Um, but yeah, you can go. But girl, did you know you have to shave your head to go to Ranger school?
I think I would do it.
You would shave your head.
Just hair. It'll grow back.
No.
It'll grow back.
It's not like just like a leadership school. Like you have to do like really hard stuff.
My my friend
Don't
Taylor.
shave your head.
My friend Taylor, she ooh, that's cute.
Thank you. It's
My friend
digestion.
Taylor is one of the most badass women that I know. And there's
Mhm.
only 7 active duty SEER specialists in the Air Force.
Serious. Yes.
SEER. And
Yep.
she is one of the 7. And she had to shave her head.
Good for her. That
She's such a
respect.
badass. She's such
Respect.
a badass. She's so cool.
Yeah.
I just looked it
No.
up. As of Wednesday,
Ooh.
there has been 143 women that have graduated from the Ranger course.
Let's freaking go, ladies. Let's freaking
Yeah.
go.
The most recent one, I guess, maybe this isn't the most recent one. This was posted in August of 2024.
Mhm.
U.S. Army captain becomes the first female nurse to graduate from the Ranger course.
Let's go, medical. Let's freaking go. Good
Hell
job.
yeah.
Good job, Captain. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I think actually, maybe I did see this girl. I'm pretty sure there was a female ranger that was posting um relatively recently. I think this might be her that was posting about like their experience and stuff.
Mhm. And
That's
there's
pretty
a
cool.
difference.
What
There's
do
a
they do
difference
at ranger
too.
school?
I would have to ask around to find out exactly what goes on at Ranger School. But from what I know, it's a leadership course, but it's very physically intensive.
Yeah.
At and That's pretty much all I know. It is to get it's either a tab or a scroll. So like Rangers, like if you went to RASP,
Mhm.
you get it's either a tab or a scroll. And then if you go to
What's the
Rangership
difference?
school,
I
I
know the
think it might
tab.
be the tab.
What's a scroll?
Um, Let me look it up. That's just what it's called.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a 62-day course that prepares soldiers for close combat and direct fire battles by developing small units, leadership skills, combat arms. Um, yeah. I feel like I've definitely probably watched like videos. Like I've definitely watched videos. Have you ever looked up like the TACP, PJ, like CCT, like YouTube videos?
no, but I look up their pipeline quite a bit.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's their pipeline.
Ah,
But
gotcha. I think like it's saying Ranger. I think that's the tab.
what's
And
the
then I think
difference though?
underneath it says like, for example, this is um what does it say? So this one says first like Ranger battalion at the bottom. So I've
Mhm.
seen like I know a bunch of people that have like the tab. I think that's the school, and I think underneath is the like the tab. So like one's for school, one's for RASP,
Mhm.
or one's for like assessment and selection.
Hmm.
So you have to have I think like both, and then you have to be airborne qualified.
Airborne. Would you do airborne?
No, I would not do airborne. I
You
mean
go
if I had
skydiving?
no.
You're telling me that you
No.
would rather go into a room filled with ghosts than go skydiving.
Yes. Yes, 100% all day.
I feel like
Girl, do you have
there's more risk with the paranormal world than there is jumping out of a plane.
No, there's freaking not! Dude, the stories, I kid you not, Riley. The
Have you ever
stories
watched The Exorcist?
the movie? Yeah.
Girl, it's based on a real story. Anna something.
I think we should do the
I
Blair
can't.
Witch thing. I think when it comes to October, I'm gonna hit you up and be like,
Fuck
"Hey,
no.
Riley, there's this cute little scary house.
The Blair
Let's
Witch Project?
yeah, let's go into the
Have you
woods and
watched
get
that
lost."
movie?
Yeah, I loved it. It was so good.
Have
Did
you
you
watched
know there's, like, a weird connection? I know you like true crime.
I
If you
do.
take, like, missing people map and then you overlay
Oh,
it
the
with
Appalachian Mountains.
the cave system map,
Yeah,
there's, like, a correlation there.
there is. The Appalachian Mountains. Have you heard of like the Appalachian people?
No, no. We have a people there?
So the Appalachian people are like it's the Appalachian Mountains, right? They run up like kind of like the east-ish coast
Uh-huh,
area.
uh-huh.
Um but the cave systems kind of correlate with the Appalachian Mountains, but there's people that live in the mountains and they're called Appalachian people. Have you
Live or
ever
lived?
live currently? Have you ever heard of the it's a YouTube channel called Soft White Underbellies.
No, can't no.
Okay.
Tell me
So
about it.
Soft White Underbelly is basically it's this guy. I don't know his name. I don't even know if he's ever like shown his face on the camera. But essentially he interviews people and like what he's been doing recently and it's doing really, really well. He goes out in the streets of like LA, like Skid Row, and he essentially like interviews and talks to like prostitutes and he talks to like pimps and like just these people and he just interviews them and like soft white underbelly right it's the vulnerable spot of a person so
Oh,
he's
gotcha.
just talking to them and like if they need it like he'll provide them like financial support but he did an entire like segment about the Appalachian people and it was like incest to the max like
Oh.
maximum of
Oh.
just his family and I'm not saying like
Oh, is it
oh
the people with, like, 12 different if they have,
they
like,
were
12 people
barking.
in their family?
Yes, and they were barking because they didn't know, like, basic language.
Oh, I didn't see
They
that.
were barking. But that's not to say all Appalachian people like, all Appalachian people are, like, actual people that they just live, like, real far out, but, like, you're never supposed to go outside. What's it called? It's called a mirror. So, like, let's say, like, you and me were, like, together in a house somewhere, whatever, like, in the
Uh-huh.
Appalachian woods, and, like, you heard like me calling your name from like outside the house, it's not
Uh-huh.
actually me.
Yeah.
It's like a
Ooey.
spirit.
Whoa.
Or like seeing yourself. Like you would walk into a room and like see like the backside of yourself or like see like the backside of me and it's not actually. And like you can hear just like screaming in the woods, but like it's not actually it's someone trying to lure you out and it's literally someone like screaming like help me, like please, like I need it. But like it's there's no one actually there.
Oh, the empathy of the human race and how we are getting that used against us. Wow.
They're learning, they're
That's
adapting.
creepy. That gave me goosebumps. Ugh.
Yeah, the EBGBs.
So maybe not the woods, but maybe we'll do, like, a little haunted house or something, like, maybe in October? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Girl,
I think that'd be fun.
I'm such a jumpy person.
Girl, me too, it'll be great. We can get, like, a fake shield from, like, the costume store. We'll get a little fake shield, and we'll do that.
Girl, I have a sword.
You have a sword? A real one or a fake one?
A real one.
Okay, we're not bringing a real sword.
Yeah,
We don't
no,
have to treat anybody because
no,
they
no, no.
scared us.
No, we'll bring a shield though. We'll bring a shield.
Yeah, we'll bring a little shield, and we'll wear super fast shoes. We'll get some, like, Under Armour. We'll get some Air
There
Force
we
Ones. I don't know
go.
if we can run in those or not, but
There we go. Represent. There was a haunted house that I had gone to, and it was one of the haunted houses where like they make you sign like all these waivers and shit, and like they're allowed to touch you and like to mess with
hell
you and
no.
all of that stuff. And
Hell no.
one of their things
Ooh.
was like while you were waiting in the line, if they saw you wearing fake eyelashes, they would like rip your fake eyelashes off and like hang them up on the wall. So like there was literally a whole wall of like fake eyelashes and like I have very long eyelashes, right? So like they're real. I promise you, like my eyelashes are real, but they like ran up to me and like tried like grabbing my eyelashes, and I was like, no, but like my eyelashes are literally real. Like, please don't like try and take them. But
Don't
there
please
was
don't try and take them.
yeah,
They're attached.
there was one room. It was the trippiest thing ever. So essentially, it was kind of like a maze, right? But you
Uh-huh,
could see all the way out in front of you,
uh-huh.
and the way it was a fog machine. There was lights. It essentially it made it feel as if it was your head on the ground, like the maze. You get what I'm
Oh.
trying to say?
Yeah, yeah, the
But
fog
the
was up to here, and they had lights to,
yes.
like, block out your body in the fog. Yep.
Yes, but, like, the stuff around us was, like, at ground level, so it felt like it was just your head, like, moving along the ground
Was there anybody hiding in the fog?
underneath. They were underneath, like, where your feet were. Freaky, 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 and then there was another one, it was like probably like a 30-foot long tunnel, but it it was like a giant tarp, and there was, like, super pressurized air, and you had to push the tarp out of the water, and if you
No!
didn't, it would literally, like, squish to your face.
Oh my god.
It
I
was
don't know if I
freaky.
wanna do a waiver one where people can, like, touch me because I get scared enough with just someone going like, "Boo."
Yeah, yeah, and then
Oh,
oh, this one, I am not a fan. I was not a fan. I was not a fan. They put you to, like, get out, you have to get into this, like, elevator,
Ew.
It does move, like, you have to go to, like, a different floor because you end up somewhere else, but, like, they make it they, like, will, like the whole elevator is, like, moving, and I'm not talking, like, a subtle, like, stop, like, I mean, like, you are falling on the ground, like, cannot stand back up, like,
Oh my
dropping.
god.
Yeah,
That's scary.
super scary.
Ugh.
So, it was fun, though. Like, I went with, like, a big group of my friends.
Did you just, like, hide in the middle?
I feel like I went first a lot of the time because I just wanted the fuck out of there. Like, I just wanted to leave. I really just wanted
Uh,
to leave.
oh my god, that's so fun, but it's, like, so scary.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely interesting, but wild. Definitely had to go on a weekend. Did you hear that they're not allowing family days anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, a family day, a lot of the times, like people will get what they call it, 96. Like you'll get a 96. Like if there's a holiday on a Friday or a
Mhm,
Monday, you'll
mhm,
get the opposite Friday or Monday off. So it's like a 4-day weekend. But
mhm.
they just got rid of them.
Did they say why?
I don't actually know why.
Were we too happy? Did we blow it? Were we just too happy? And then we're like, "No, we can't have that. No, bad. Bad freedom. No, 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 not for you. Not until you get out. Boo, 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 boo."
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the Air Force. Air Force revoked Family Day policy, which guarantees troops extra times off, citing the need for more lethality focused approach to ensure mission readiness.
Lethality from the Air Force?
Apparently,
Us?
this initiative was made to align with mission readiness, individualized approach, no blanket policy, and liberal leave.
Hmm,
So commanders can still grant liberal leave by allowing service members to use previously earned leave, comp time, and
hmm.
pre-approved time off awards.
Okay.
Okay, so if you get over that 90 on your PT test, like I just did,
Let's go! Heck
you
yeah.
get that
Alright, yeah.
comp day.
Yeah, don't take the 1 day earned a year, okay? Don't take that away.
Did you guys get birthday passes?
No, the hell is a
Really?
birthday pass?
On your birthday, they would give you like a pass, and it was like, hey, here's a free day off. You can take it if you want, like whenever.
No, I worked it. I got sung at. Everybody I didn't tell any I
Mm,
hated it. I hated it. They sang to me every year and they like when it came to group functions or whatever, like if
mhm.
somebody brought in food, I was always going like afterwards and I would get like whatever was left
Really?
over. I didn't like to socialize. I was really like
To
I was
yourself?
yeah, I'm really like to
Yeah.
myself. And so I hated it every year for my birthday. They would all sing and I'd be like, "No, like
That's
please
so
don't."
cute, though. That's so sweet. This last birthday that I just had was the first birthday that I has ever been celebrated since me joining the military.
Aw.
And I cried because my 2 of my best friends came. They came to my work, and
Aw.
it's actually really funny because on my birthday this year, I was supposed to have a mental health appointment, and then the doctor no-showed my appointment.
Oh, dang. Okay.
So like I was coming into work late and I see Kayla, I see her like walking up and she's stationed at a different, like the complete other side. So I was like, girl, like what are you doing here? Like there was no reason for her to be there. And she was like, come on, like let's go. And they had decorated like my desk and like I walked into my classroom and like my whole classroom was decorated and like
Aw.
just so sweet. And like I don't know, it's just good. It's good to feel that. Like, yes, it's embarrassing in the moment, but like just the fact that people like love and people care.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice.
It's nice.
It's
Yeah.
always nice doing that for people. For
Yeah.
me, it was like when I would get singed at, like, I didn't know what to do. So,
Mhm.
like, for the first, like, year or 2, I would just, like, kinda stare at everybody because I didn't know what I was
It's
supposed to be
so
doing.
awkward. That
And
is awkward. I will give
then
you
I s
that.
yeah, then I just started, like, putting my head down, and
Oh,
then I was just like, "Thank you," but, like, everybody knew my personality by then.
yeah.
Everybody knew that, like, when they would bring in food that, I would go in last, and sometimes, like, someone would, like, wait to, like, catch me, and then
Yeah.
they'd be like, "I knew you'd come here eventually." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ah, people, ah."
Yeah. What do you think though? What do you think about them getting rid of those family days?
I, like I don't like, the reason being for lethality? Like, I can understand mission. I can understand, like, "Hey, we wanna start flying more jets. Hey, we
Yeah.
wanna start having things ready to go. We don't
Mhm.
have enough fuelers or maintainers or whatever." Or, "Hey, like, we want, more medical." Like, we didn't get a whole lot of family days towards the end of my time in, because
We
they
would get
wanted.
like low man days is what we would get a lot of the time.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
like, sometimes you get, like, like, half staff, half
Mhm.
the appointments, whatever. Slowly that started going away, which I get for patient availability, right?
Mhm.
But to take away family days for, like, other people, for lethality? Like, what is that even?
Let
We're Air
finance
Force.
have their family days. They need it.
Finance doesn't need another dang day. Any day that ends in
They
a
work
Y is a
hard.
training day. I love you, finance. Thank you for paying me. Seriously, I appreciate it. But,
They work
like,
hard. Give them a day off.
oh my god.
I mean,
Oh my god.
I think it's really breaking into so like there's a lot of change happening right now in the Air Force, right? So
Mhm.
there was a huge initiative that was pushed where we now all have to get open ranks inspections. Because essentially like people they were not following AFI. Like people looked like shit. So they
Yeah.
brought back open ranks and like for someone who has not done open ranks since tech school, right? That is a very humbling process. So it's OCPs, OCP open rank inspection, and then Blues full service dress inspection. And like
Oh,
we just did
no.
ours a couple weeks ago, and like you would think like you'll be
Everyone's
good,
squared away.
yeah, but there was definitely like some corrections that had to be made. There was that, so there was that. Obviously, the family days, and the big one that like got everybody really upset was the duty identifying patch.
Yeah, what happened? So now, now
No
you
one
can't
is allowed
have.
to wear them.
Why?
So General Alvin,
Okay.
Elvin, he basically he came out with a couple different statements that were posted, and I I see 100% where he's coming from, and I don't really disagree with him. But
What was the
essentially,
reason?
so the patches were originally created for first responders. So
Yep,
four ends, four ends because we're EMTs.
yep,
It was for four end security forces and fire. That's
yep,
when it was like the Spice Brown patch. And
right,
then they were like, okay, well, other people, because other medical people, they were like, well, we want the med patch too, but they're not first responders.
right.
So then that's when they upped it and they
To the
said,
black
all right,
one?
they said first responders, so fire, four ends, and security forces are going to get the black border because they're
Yep,
first responders. They need to be identified.
and that was a huge deal too.
That was
That
a
was
huge deal, and
it was
it was
huge.
such like to be honest with you, like it was such an honor being able to wear that patch, like
Mhm.
genuinely, like it really was. And then they came out with another statement. They were like, "Well, if you're any four coded job and you complete TCCC tier 3, you can wear the black border."
What's
Which
the
if
difference between T-Triple-C's tactical casualty combat care.
here, yeah,
So it's like if you're deployed, how
yeah,
do you respond to this? And so,
yeah,
the reason why we have it is back in the day, one of the biggest things, depending on which war you wanna talk about, was the biggest casualty was, bleeding out.
mhm,
Most preventable casualty was bleeding out. So we're like, "Alright,
yeah,
let's have a course, teach people how to put on a tourniquet, when to put on a tourniquet, how fast
yeah,
you need to do it," and then it changed, of course. So that's
yeah. Three
triple C.
minutes.
What's the tier? What's the, 1, 2, 3 for other people?
So tier one, it's essentially what they used to call like SABC, like self aid buddy care. So it's basically it's really putting a tourniquet on and like
Mhm.
direct pressure. Like that's really all that is.
Yep.
Tier two is very. I would probably say that tier two is very like basic
Is
medical
that when they can
training.
give, like, Tylenol or no? Is
No,
that
I don't.
only
That's
us?
only tier three. Yeah, that's only
Okay.
tier three.
Is that
So
calling in, like, an
and
evac?
like a
Is that
nine
what?
line.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not 100% sure to be honest with you. I haven't taught
Okay.
TCCC in like a couple of years.
Same.
And then your tier three is like your real medical stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
innovating, like doing certain types of chest tubes. Like we, as
And
forensic,
that's
we have a
us.
list of medications that we can give
Yep.
people, like TXA, like fentanyl lollipops, like just different medications that we can give. And then they came out with tier 4, which I actually had taken like the test course run of tier 4, and it
Mhm.
was insane. It was just the amount of knowledge. I was the only enlisted person in a room full of doctors and nurses, or providers and nurses.
Oh, wow.
Um, but it was really, really cool being able to experience that. So then, you know, there's different patches. So now we have the black borders, and if you're tier 3 qualified, like medical medic X is what they're calling it now. Like now you can wear the black border, and then
If you go through
cyber.
Medic X, you get a black border?
So that's what they're calling all the 4 jobs now, is medic X's,
Oh,
and
I remember
they have to do certain trainings to be like considered and qualified for a medic X.
that's crazy because I taught that when they were
Yeah.
first rolling it out,
Hmm.
and, like, yeah, the information was great, but it's kind of one of those things, like, I wouldn't
Well,
like, you're having
the whole point of them doing the medic X is that uh, essentially they're predicting that things are going to be different, right? In the past war that we experienced,
Mhm.
you call in, a medivac is there in 12 to 24 hours,
Yep.
like long time period. They're
Right.
not expecting that for what's coming. So what we're really focused on is like long-term field care. So
Yep.
that's where like we're really utilizing all of the four jobs. But with that being said, everyone had a duty identifying patch, right? Cyber
Mhm.
had a patch, TMO had a patch, like
Mhm.
everybody had a patch. So in his statement, he just said that we're getting really far away from big picture, and everything is very individualized.
Hmm.
Like, to put that very like shortly.
Mhm.
So
What does
they're
that
just
mean? How
they're
do you
just
like
trying to look at like big picture Air Force, and like
yeah.
very much like one team, one fight.
I don't know. I would my feedback, like, I understand, like, why you would like, if someone's falling under Medic X,
Mhm.
like, yeah, they should, on paper, be qualified to do that. However, from personal experience, I would not say and I'm out, right? All the respect to the chain of command, of course. I disagree because, like, everybody has to be CPR qualified, right? Everybody has to be
Mhm.
CPR qualified. If you're a medic, super easy. That's like the easiest thing to do is
Yeah.
just go and you practice and you get tested easiest. For other departments, like let's say for the who are the people that ship out like s-
TMO.
not like ship out supplies, not TMO.
Supply,
Supply
material
yeah,
management.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, when we went around and they were testing CPR, it was always, like, the people that work in the medical building but don't work with medical every single day,
Mhm.
where they weren't as sharp with it, or sometimes there would be moments where they would have to get retested a lot
Yeah, because
because when
that's not their average job, like, that's just not
it's not.
something that they're doing every day. Like,
It's not.
you're
It's
telling
def
me Tina from supply is gonna remember how to do CPR instead of, I don't know, filling out whatever forms need to be filled out? I don't know.
exactly, and so there'd be a lot of fails. They would
Yeah.
get retaught, right? So they would pass eventually, right?
Mhm.
But the thing is to take away a patch that shows that you are most qualified
Mhm.
because it is your job, is your daily job, and
Yeah.
then to not have that black border because other people are now qualified, I think
Mhm.
that's dropping the ball. Because yes, everybody went through Medic X, but it was one course, it was like one time. Sure, there's going to be a refresher, but like if we are testing someone from loved supply, thank you for all the stuff. But if we're testing someone who's, let's just say, supply, and when they get their CPR test, they need to get refreshed. To think that you put them through a medical course for Medic X, and suddenly now they've checked a box to where if they go deploy, the medics can go do medic stuff and they can do Medic X stuff, I think is a huge undersight. Like, yes, it logically makes sense. They've checked the boxes, they should be good to go. But
Yeah.
I think that's a huge dropping the ball. Like,
But
if
that's,
we
like,
can't
another thing, like, even with, like, TCCC, like, you and
yeah.
I having taken, like, because you took up to tier 3, correct?
Yeah, I taught
Yeah.
too.
So you did all of that. We're not doing that on a day to day. Like, that is
No.
not, we are not allowed to give any of those medications or to intubate someone or to do any of that unless you are in a life or death scenario in a deployed manner.
Girl, at my place,
Yeah.
we weren't allowed to give IVs.
Really? You
We
were
were not
BLS?
allowed to get like, as medics,
Yeah.
like, which is, like, the most standard thing, we were not allowed to give IVs. So,
Wow.
with the only way, like, obviously, it would happen sometimes for, like,
Yeah.
patients that came in, and it comes down to, like, capabilities, but obviously, we have EMS. EMS could give IVs, but,
Yeah.
like, for the medics coming in that were like, "Hey, I wanna refresh on my skills," it was not a thing, and
Even
I
under
just
doctor's orders or, like, nursing supervision, you weren't allowed?
the nurse would be the one to do it, and
Really?
yeah, so, like, that and that's, like, a
That's
huge
crazy.
it is huge because you learn it and
Yeah.
then that's, like and you go to your hospital, you do your
Yeah.
rotations, they put you in phlebotomy, they put you in the ICU, like,
Yeah.
you finally learn how to get a stick, and then, like, if you don't use it, you lose it,
Yeah.
and I just think that's
It's
kind
kinda
of
like riding a bike. It's kinda like
yeah.
riding a bike.
You got it, but for some people, it was just like, "Wait, when
Yeah.
do I take the tournament off? Is it, like, before
Yeah.
or after?" And it was just
Girl,
I
the
don't know,
first
like,
time I ever did an IV, I was on my instructor, and I made him pass out.
"How'd you make a pass out?"
I forgot to occlude.
Oh, so the blood went everywhere?
Yeah. So, like, when we don't so
That's
there's, like,
funny.
self-occlusion IVs, which are a godsend. They're so nice. You put the tourniquet on, you get the flash, which means that you're in the vein, and
Yep,
then what you have to do is you have to push and then pull the needle out, pop the
yep,
tourniquet, and then connect. Well,
right.
I tourniquet was still on, I just pulled the needle out, and he was like, "Alright, put your finger," and I was like, "No, nothing's computing, like, nothing is happening." Just instant panic, and he was bleeding, because I just opened up a hose to his vein.
Yep, yep.
Um, he was bleeding, not like life or death, like, scenario where he was gonna, like, bleed it's possible, I guess he could have bled out, but, like,
It would take a
it would
while,
take a
but
long time,
yeah,
but,
you just go like this and then you're good. Like,
yeah,
just
but the other
it's
instructor, like, ran over and, like, put it on him. We were all in ABUs, and he was in OCPs, and he, like, turned, like, the green color, and I was like and I cannot deal with vomit. I cannot. And I was like, "Are you gonna throw up?" And he's like, "I don't really feel good." Passes out, and I was like, "Oh my god, I killed my instructor." He's fine. He was good. He was good.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's funny. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, it sucks when you have to get stuck by baby medics. I would
You
I
gotta learn.
don't
I would rather get an IV than get my blood drawn
really?
any day,
I'll take
any day.
I'll take a blood draw on because if it's not going well, I'll just do it myself. I'll just be like,
True.
give me that needle real quick. I know where my veins at. I've gotten poked so many times."
Have you ever given yourself your own IV?
No. No, I haven't.
Really?
No. We weren't even allowed to practice
Yeah,
after I got out. After the
that's
hospital?
wild.
Yeah. I think there's some, I get if you're a general, everybody's scared of you, 1. Sorry, like, that's just everybody respects you, everybody's scared of you, and
Yeah.
everybody wants to make your dream come true and wants everything to work. Um, but just, like, little things like that, like, if we have, like, a Medic X and CPR like, having it be, like, sharp is an
Mhm.
issue, thinking that they can go to Medic X when deployed and help a medic so that medics can go do medic things, and then we also have medics that, like, don't practice, like, on IVs on the regular. It's
Yeah.
just, like, there's ball dropping, and it's not fixable. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean we're incompetent. My situation was very unique. Other
Mhm.
places aren't like that. Um,
Yeah. I think
also
also, like, where you're working obviously is, like, a big thing.
yes.
Like, I came from an ALS platform, so advanced life support or
Mhm.
advanced life support, advanced life saving versus, like, majority of every other Air Force base is a BLS, so, like, a basic life saving or basic life support,
Yes. Yeah, so you got to
platform.
do cooler stuff.
I got to do some interesting things, yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, if you're really not keeping up on those skills, but big picture was that we're just trying to get back to, like, the one team, one fight, getting standards in check,
We're trying to be
and
more Army too, right, from what I'm tracking?
well, okay, I could be completely wrong with this statement, but I'm pretty like, I was told, like, when we switched over because I had been in for probably like 2 years, maybe a year or 2 by the time we switched to OCPs, and I was like, "Why are we switching?" And I was
Mhm.
originally told, never fact check this, just shook my head and was like, okay, that makes sense. That we were
Roger.
that we were standardizing.
Yep.
And that's why we were going back. And I was like, well, is the Navy, are the Marine Corps switching? And then they were like, yeah, I mean, like the whole game plan is for them to switch eventually.
Hmm.
Obviously, that I don't think that that would happen, to be honest with you.
No, things change all the time. Like, right,
Yeah.
like, there's this, and then it's, like, good, and then maybe it's like, oh, like, our supplier or whatever, like, who knows?
Yeah.
Or, like, it doesn't make sense to have Navy be in green when their ships are dark blue, dark colors.
But they wear the greens now. They're not blueberries anymore.
Oh, yeah, they have it's green and black,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's green and black.
They were
That's
originally blueberries, and then they stopped being blueberries like quite a few years ago. Probably around the same
yeah,
time that we switched.
yeah.
Like, what's the point of them? I don't know. Navy, why are you green? What color is the navy? Blue? The navy is blue. Isn't that
They're
their color?
blue, and they got seaweed, and they got water.
Maybe that's why to blend in with seaweed.
Yeah.
Think that's why the navy's green. Navy, why are you green?
Oh,
Okay,
why are
well,
you green, Navy?
Coast Guard's colors are dark blue. Yeah,
Little Coast Guardies, yeah,
they're dark
they
blue.
got a cute little, like, suit looking thing,
I
little
know the Marine Corps is like red and yellow. We're blue.
the Marines are red and yellow
Yeah.
for their what?
No, not for their uniforms, just of like their colors, you know?
Oh, yeah, 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 okay, I was like I don't remember seeing a Marine walk around in red. Um,
The
yeah,
Army's
yeah,
colors, oh, I guess that makes sense. Army's colors are black and gold. Navy is blue and gold. Marine is scarlet. Sorry, scarlet and gold. Air Forces is ultramarine blue and gold. Coast Guard is blue and gold. And Space Force is ultramarine blue and gold.
ooh, ultra, ultra.
What the hell is ultramarine?
We're bougie. We don't have that blue, we
Ultramarine.
got that ultra blue.
Oh, it's a pretty nice color.
Is it that royal? Yeah.
That's a pretty nice blue. Fly, fight, and win, boys. Fly, fight, and win.
Heck yeah. That's interesting, though. I guess I'm sure a lot of people, um have different opinions on that. Again, I understand, of course. I know you're in the Air Force, right?
Mhm.
And there is certain ways we need to also like structure the podcast in certain ways, right? Like I
Obviously,
never
none of my views represent the DoD. I'm speaking as Riley and Riley alone.
right, right. And then
Yeah.
I also us being together out of respect because I was also and I adhered to
Mhm.
OSI by the or I adhered to freaking OPSEC by the T, right? Like everything's good. So this is my opinion, doesn't affect, Riley or anything. It's nothing negative. I just with the whole general thing, I get that. I just from personal experience, I see things that can be worked on, and that's pretty much it. Don't disagree. And maybe I'm a little cope maxing because I loved my medic patch. We had to get that in, and there wasn't enough medic patches to go
Yeah.
around, so we took a freaking Sharpie and we were like doing the borders.
Wow.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
but the borders would run off and they would go into like a deep brown, so we'd have to re-Sharpie that stuff
Mhm.
to like stay in
I
ranks
keep
because
mine.
they were sold
Obviously,
out.
yeah. I don't wear mine. Like, I don't. I obviously I adhere to the standards. I don't wear it, but I keep it in that pocket.
Yeah, it's a battle buddy.
Yeah, it's just staying there. She's just staying there with me.
Yeah, she's a little battle buddy.
But yeah, obviously we still have the duty identifying like patch up here, but like girl, you could show me all of those and I probably wouldn't know like what half of them are. Like our little cross and serpent crawling up the
Oh, the medical
badge.
sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
that's,
obviously
like, the
I know
only
what
one I
that
know.
is.
Mhm.
I know like the B meds and like all of those ones, but like I would not be able to tell you. Maybe I would be able to figure out like a crew chief's like sign, but like, and half the
No.
time they're hidden under the lapels. So four ends, we have the tiniest little one. It's literally this big,
It's itty
versus like a
bitty.
crew chief's is like this big, like across their chest, and like mine
Airborne's
hides.
got the little wings too.
Yeah, mine hides under the lapel, so like you can't even see it.
Yeah,
So wild, wild work.
I know. It's and things are evolving, things are changing, like, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Um, And also not to freak people out when, we were talking about like the war to come or whatever. It doesn't mean there's some sort of impending doom. It just means constantly our military is evolving just like
We're
other
always adapting
militaries
and
are.
changing. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
we're
it
just
doesn't mean something's like
you
coming.
guys watch the news, like we're all aware of like what's happening.
Mhm.
Um it's just what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like an inside scoop or anything. It's more of just
Dude,
the
I
military
know
is
the
always
same
changing.
as the news. Did you ever have those friends that'd be like, "What's happening right now?" And you're like, "What are you even talking about?" Like, I don't know anything.
I would gaslight. We would get some cool briefs and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, we would get like some
You're
cool
just
things,
like,
but
I signed an NDA. I'm not allowed to speak about this topic."
yeah, there's like but you're like little like this. And
Yeah.
then there's like secret, then there's like whatever secret, and then there's like top secret, and then it's, how I don't know who knows how high president, I don't know. I don't know how high this freaking thing
Isn't
goes.
it isn't it secret, top secret,
Top secret SCI.
Yankee?
I have
Yankees is
no clue.
top.
The
Yankee
top that we know about. The military is so good at
Oh, yeah,
compartmentalizing
yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. What is it called? It's a Yankee something. Yankee I was gonna say Mallory White. Mallory White is a tear in your esophagus.
Okay, security clearance. It goes public trust, confidential clearance. I just
Mhm,
Googled it. It's public information. Confidential clearance, top secret SCI clearance,
mhm,
special access program, and then
mhm.
Yankee White
Oh,
clearance.
there we go.
You got it. So that's like the top of the top.
Yeah. I wonder who has the Yankee.
The freaking president.
You think so?
Yeah.
Think they're the
Or
only
or they
one?
have like a different one. Because you have to, right? You have to have stuff that's like super duper hot. Like
Oh, yeah.
that's yeah.
That'd be crazy. Can you imagine being the president? Just imagine it for a
No.
second.
No, because I'm gonna make
What's
that
coming
too
up?
real, and I'm gonna say I don't think we would do well with a non-male president, with a non-gentleman. I knew it, but no, there's logical reasons behind it, okay? This isn't saying girls can't do stuff. If you are a country, I know, look at Riley's face. Listen to me. I might give you, okay, don't be closed-minded on me, all right?
I'm open.
I didn't always have these opinions. I
Okay.
joined and I was definitely one way, and then when I joined, I was definitely a different way because of the
Mhm,
information you get, right? If you told this to me years ago, I'd been like, "How dare you think a woman can't do a guy's job, like equality?" Yes, but if we are negotiating with countries on war topics, and there
mhm,
are countries where they can't even shake hands with a woman, the idea that a lady can negotiate with that country when they see women as XYZ is not very politically smart. Like, yes, we have leaders in like
mhm,
the nether regions and whatever, the happy, beautiful realm. But when it comes to stuff like that, if you're negotiating with countries that have women on a different tier, socially, respect wise, I just don't think we are at a place right now where yes, America's very like equal. I definitely agree with that.
mhm,
Other countries aren't that way. And to think that we would be superior in our way because we are a lady president, a madam president, I just don't I think that's a little bit of a naive take and not really much of a politically thing. Now don't get me wrong, I love my favorite leader, Colonel, she's amazing,
mhm,
right? I think she's great. Could she run for president and I would vote for her? Yes, but when it
mhm.
comes to the success of the nation and being able to negotiate things with and things like that, or I don't know, can we say that? To non to chaotic groups that want to, cause, uh, different things that aren't good. I'm trying to think of YouTube. I just don't think it would be, received well. I don't think it would be received well.
I can see that standpoint.
You can see what I'm saying from,
Yeah, I
like
do.
from a logistic militant thing,
Mhm,
if you're talking with somebody that doesn't view women as even, like, a their individual member of society, negotiating with that country
mhm.
might not go well.
I see that.
That's it. But do I think they can? Yes. All right, female doctors, whatever, female construction, whatever, ladies, I hate saying female, ladies and gentlemen, like, yes, I get that. But from a realistic standpoint, I don't think that would be smart. Is it? That's it.
Makes sense. I see you
Yeah.
there. I see
You
you.
just you disagree? Do you have a counter offer?
Not not really, to be honest
No.
with you. I understand and I respect like cultural values. Obviously I'm not from a culture that has that standpoint, but I can still
Right.
like respect it and see it from that
Mhm.
standpoint, but
Mhm.
it is what it is.
I know. That's a little hot. That's a little bit of a hot
I'm
take.
interested. I'm interested to see what the people say about that.
I don't think I'm hitting it from it's
Like a
not coming
sexist
from
standpoint.
yeah, it's not saying
Uh,
women and men can't do their jobs, but to think
yeah.
that the American mindset of freedom and equality
Mhm.
is accepted everywhere and that everybody gets that luxury
Yeah.
is, um, is very close-minded, and to
Mhm.
think that just because you are in a position of power that you should get the same respect. There are other countries where based off of your sex, it is not that way. So
Mhm.
unfortunately, there is barriers that are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see you there. What do you say?
Hmm.
Should we meet them here next Wednesday?
You wanna end on that?
Yeah, girl.
You wanna end on something hot like that?
Yeah, I want to see them argue.
Oh my god. I
I
feel like
want
I
to
just
see
made a bad
chaos in the comment section.
I just made a bad first impression. Oh,
This isn't
no.
a first impression. Y'all have met us here before, and you'll meet us here
Sorry.
next week.
Sorry, guys.
I am though.
Sorry.
I am interested to see what you guys say. I want to see your views and some different thoughts and opinions about what we had talked about. Obviously, this is our own personal opinions. If you guys have something different, like we would love to hear. We would love to see those different standpoints of
Oh.
what you guys are talking about. But
Yes.
that's really it. That's all we got.
It's over for me. I'm so sorry,
No,
internet.
it's not.
It's
You're
gonna get clipped.
fine.
It's gonna get clipped. I'm gonna say, I don't think a woman should be president. And then the whole thing's gonna be taken out and it's gonna go hamster, Hammy.
There's gonna
Hammy
be
is
some like
anti-women.
some super like military edit where it's like your face and it's like I don't think that women should be in, and then they're gonna edit it like leadership positions, and then the next clip is gonna be like a female fighter pilot. Have you seen those military edits?
Yes, I
We've been in
have.
the same military edits where they've like made us
Yes.
into those. I love them.
Yes.
Not even gonna
I
lie, I
know.
love edits that
I
are
know, I
made
love it. I'm
about
like, "Oh,
me.
thank you for thinking of me."
Thank
For
you.
that
Oh,
be
you made an edit about me. Thank you.
it'd be such a crazy clip wearing pink with a pink lit up cherry blossom tree
There you
going,
go.
"Girls can't be da 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 da." It's
That's
over for
interesting.
me. Watch the whole video. Don't fall for clickbait.
There you
Oh,
go.
oh my god. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous for ending on this. It's okay. It's
You're
understandable.
fine, girl. You're good.
Ah, we're good.
You're fine.
We're good.
You're
Let's do our little sign off. We'll end on something strong. They're gonna be like, wait,
yeah,
that's it. Yeah, that's it. Cause we gotta edit.
we do. We have to edit and get this up.
We have to edit. But
Um,
thank y'all for hanging out.
yeah, thank you guys for being here. We're posting every Wednesday at
Yeah.
1. Make
Yeah.
sure that you're
Yeah.
going over on the Instagram and following us over there. That obviously, if you're already here, you're following us on YouTube, but just make sure
Thank
that you
you.
follow us. Make sure that you're liking, subscribing,
Thank
commenting.
you.
We want to hear. You're gonna
Yes.
give Hammy a panic attack over here, poor girl.
I'm so nervous because
You'll be
yeah, I'm glad this is
fine.
at the end because then if anybody because if you're watching till the end, that means you liked us. You
There
liked
you
us.
go. You're still here.
Yeah.